I like to start off by saying, guys and gals, this is a kid here, an American. I was watching something on YouTube a while ago. Uh, that during this election time and stuff, the black community is coming through, and the Democrats are saying that the white community owes for representation, whatever that word is, restitution, whatever, for slavery and this, that, and the other. Something happened 150 years ago, and yet they want racism to be over with. First off, let me tell you how you stop racism and how you stop separation of the people. When you have groups, and I'm going to start off, I am Caucasian, but first off, I'm a Christian. Second off, I'm American. When you start off with groups like the Ku Klux Klan, white supremacists, Black Panthers, Black Lives Matter, all that, you are labeling and dividing yourself from anything else. Uh, and the ones that's making this movement, black movements, which I'm saying there's white people involved too, but there's no way to divide hatred, racism, and this, that, and another involving that, because you are single-handedly or as a group speaking for a whole uh, race or ethnicity. So therefore, you take a couple hundred people who is labeling themselves as something, they're speaking for a whole ethnicity. Meaning the KKK talks, people are automatically labeling all white folks as racist, bigoted Klan members, when that's not the case. Same way with the Black Lives Matter, Black Panthers, whatever the other movements are out there. You know, you're speaking for everybody else when everybody else don't have a dog in the fight. What your opinion is, you're labeling your whole race or ethnicity over a lot of ignorant crap. For number one, white men alive today or women today has never owned a slave. So let's go ahead and let that go. You want to tear down the statues of the Civil War and these movements and stuff like that. I don't see any white folks going around tearing down Martin Luther King statues, Malcolm X statues, shooting signs up because every town or state has got a Martin Luther King Boulevard. I don't see that happening. And I want you to understand my point. My point is we need to let it go. There's nobody that's Caucasian alive right now ever owned a slave. Period. We are not paying 1 red cent for anything that our ancestors done. I don't even know if my ancestors even owned a slave. As far as I know, my ancestors was slaves. Yeah, I've got a lot of Indian in me. So I'm not going to go to the government for what happened to my great-great-grandmother who was full-blooded Cherokee right off the reservation. I'm not going to the government for that. For number one, there's nobody in the government that was even part of what happened to her. And I was born when my great-great-grandmother was still alive. I was born with almost all my great-grandparents. But the point is, she was kicked off a reservation, and I'm not out here ripping and romping up in Washington, D.C. thinking I need retribution or restitution, whatever you want to label it, for her wrongdoings. The Native Americans are not speaking against that. All it boils down to, and this goes on both sides of the fence, is get your rear end up, go get a job, and quit living in the past. The key to having a good future is not looking back. There's a good story in the Bible where the Lord tells them about Sodom and Gomorrah, do not look back or you'll turn to pillar of salt. That applies now too. You look back, you're going to stay in the back. You're going to be a neutral in reverse. You're not going to be in drive and going forward. Let the past go. If you're an American or you're living in this country, I'm giving you that. If you're living in this country, even if you're illegal, but you're living here, meaning you're going to pertain part of what they call the American dream, American citizenship, the laws of America, whatever it may be, let everything else go. In order for our president to make his country better again, or great again, whatever it may be, or the next president, the presidents after that, We've got to quit bickering about crap that's going on in the past, and especially crap that happened when none of us was alive to even know what happened. You know, there's nobody alive that knows anything about slavery. Period. We know of stories we was told, what history books, that man-made books, was written about slavery, but none of us witnessed it. Let it go. Be an American. That's all you got to be. I'm not going to talk to you about faith, but be an American. The heck with what color your skin is, be an American. Whether you're legal or born here. If this is the country you reside in, be an American. Enjoy the freedom that we do have, what little bit we do have, and let's all get along. And quit worrying about what the hell happened 150 years ago. Quit worrying about food stamps. Quit worrying about free housing. Quit worrying about trying to get one over on the government. Be prideful. Work for what you got. I struggle every week, every day, but I work. I'm working right now. 3 o'clock in the morning. Still going. But at the end of the day, I can wipe the sweat from my brow and be thankful for what very little I got and for another day of breath. That's what we've got to strive for. There ain't no president, there ain't no government, there ain't no Congress can get you that. That's something you've got to do on your own. The government has got you in their hand right now because they're seeing the country divided. And right now the country's worse than it was even in the 50s and 60s during the movement, civil rights movement. Now that, think and use your head, people. This goes for everybody. It goes up there with that garbage. And yes, I'm calling it garbage because it ain't, what happened then ain't affecting nothing now. Y'all were stirring it back up. Leave it alone. Be a man, be a woman, provide for you and yours, and forget what anybody else thinks about you. Best thing to do is worry about yourself. Keep your nose out of anybody else's business, and worry about you and yours. And this place will be a whole lot better, I promise you. I don't go sticking my nose up in Washington, D.C. because of somebody getting shot over here, shot over there. That ain't none of my business. I'm not the one getting shot. I ain't the one running from the police. I ain't doing this. Treat them with respect. You'll realize you quit running from them or dressed like a thug, acting like a hoodlum, looking like you gnawing your ear off because you high on dope. You'll realize if you don't do them things, guess what? You probably ain't going to get in trouble. I did prison time. Yes, I've been to prison. And I stayed in trouble. But I've never run from the police. When they come to talk to me, I was respectful. Never done drugs. I was just ignorant. I was stupid. I don't have nothing to blame my crap on. I was just an idiot. Like I said, never done drugs. I like to fight. But when they come knocking on my door with a warrant, they knew that they didn't have a problem. Now, if I'd have went out running from them, throwing rocks at them, and they shot and killed me, well, I put myself in that situation. Am I saying there's all good cops out there? No. But when you got sex offenders and people's got a criminal past, this, that, and the other, and you have to running from the police, acting like an idiot, well, you got to suffer the consequences. But that's the truth on racism. That's the truth on America. We will never be able to let it go if you keep bringing up the past. I don't care what ethnicity you are. I don't care about anything like that. Just like the old saying, Mexicans don't pay taxes. Bull crap. What they don't do is file taxes at the end of the year, majority of them, that's not legal. And guess what? America's making a killing off of it because they ain't got to give them back that money. But if they work a job where they get taxes taken out of them at chicken plants or whatever, they're paying taxes, people. Might be under somebody else's name. But leave them alone. At least they're working. Just don't worry about what everybody else is going on. Don't worry about your neighbor or what they're doing. Don't worry about how good they got it or how bad they living. Just don't worry about it. If you don't worry about it, you ain't got a problem. My wife tells me all the time, I don't say that stuff don't bother me because I don't let it bother me. You know why? It ain't none of my doggone business, for number one, and I don't give a rat's rearing what you think about me. That's how you end the problem in America. That's how you end racism. If nobody is directly speaking to you, calling you a racist remark, doing something racist, then you're not being affected by anything, so let it go. Don't, why try to stir up a fire? Why try to, that's like going in your pasture out there. It's an ant mound. They're not bothering a thing. You not be it. You ain't got an ant in there, one on you, but you go kick it, then you're going to get ate up, and it's going to be the ant's fault when they wasn't doing nothing. You see what I'm saying? Don't stir up the hornet's nest. Don't stir up the ant bed. Just walk away from it. You see it? Put your weed, ant killer, whatever on it, and go on. And you'll see everything will be perfectly fine. You ain't got to kick that ant bed or that hornet's nest. Because if you don't, you ain't going to get bit. You keep stirring the pot, you're going to cause something to happen, then you're going to be looking at yourself like, well, it was better in 2019 than it is here. 2018 was a better year. Then you're going to be looking at the past, wondering what in the crap happened to the future. So come on, America, let's be Americans. Let's be hard-working Americans. You might not have much at the end of the week, but you can say you earned it. Let's get together, and let's all be Americans, not an ethnicity or a race. This is Kid. Y'all have a blessed night.